Okay, got a level surface, pinion's been leveled, everything's leveled out. I want you guys to watch the gauge as I go nice and slow. Oh Lord, look at that. And then back to nothing. And then nothing again. And then nothing. So we got a warped ring gear. The spider gears are seized to hell. Even using a brass punch, I wasn't able to get them to move. So yeah, that's a little bit of an issue there. We had this thing in. It had a very stiff rear end. I checked the brakes. Wasn't the brakes dragging in any way, shape, or form. Disconnected drive shaft. Wasn't anything from the drive line forward. It was still stiff. But yeah, the original bearings that were in it were toast, like shot. No bueno. And they didn't come out in one piece. That's how tight they were in there. And the pinion, I think, is actually a mismatched pinion. I don't think this pinion actually matches that ring gear. But it's new spider gears. I got a pinion and ring gear, but I got to get some spider gears, I guess, for this thing. And start all over from scratch, get it all set up properly and done properly. This is a Dana 60 and E350 camper van that was converted to a 4x4. I still believe that it should have been upgraded to a Dana 80. The rear gear set is a 456. But the sad thing is after I ran the numbers on the front that they used for the conversion, comes back as a 375. And there are a bunch of other little issues with this thing. Like they greased the sway bar bushings, and it's just been moving back and forth on there. Sway bar links are cocked right out. I don't like how they connected them to the sway bar, how they modified it there with those pieces of angle iron. That front end is cocked and out of alignment. Yeah, a couple little tiny things. And the rear sway bar, I do not like that because that's not strong enough. They could have just got extensions or got longer links, or they could have got a narrow sway bar and went over the top. I've done that on conversions that I've done. But yeah, the big issue is this rear end was almost to the point where it was going to be gone. The fluid that came out, it was extremely low and burnt. But yeah, and every single one of these ball joints and U joints, everything is dry as hell. Like it's never been greased, never had any grease on it. Everything's so friggin' dry on it. Not overly impressed with this conversion. I'm not going to give the name of the company because I'm not that kind of person, but I'm not happy right now. But this here is a big thing. Like this, they should have taken it out, geared the front and rear to be the same gearing, and they should have swapped out the Dana 60 to do a Dana 80 because this thing is big and top heavy. So the sway motion going like this, and those outer bearings is going to cause them to fail and also put undue stress on the axles. None of that, it's a narrow axle, and they tried using spacers, but the spacers aren't wide enough. They could have went with a F350 wide axle and put it on there. A Dana F350 wide axle would have been better. But yeah, so these are the issues that I'm dealing with today. But I will make it right.